Good morning, everyone. My name is Josh Human. I'm Sales Director for Creatio in UK and Ireland. And I'm very excited today to talk to you more about how to empower your knowledge workers to create business applications with composable no-code tools. Lots of fun buzzwords in that title, and hopefully you will come away today understanding a little bit more about what they mean and how no-code is really going to benefit you and your business. So I've been working in software for around 10 years, and I've been with Creatio for about 4 of those. I have a very exciting role here, helping a lot of different businesses and a lot of people from different backgrounds use no-code tools to really accelerate what they're doing, add more flexibility and more capabilities to their companies. So very excited to show you more of that today. And I am joined by my colleague Eero, who's going to be presenting a live demonstration of the Creatio platform.
Hi, Josh. Hi, everyone. Good morning. My name is Eero. I'm a solutions engineer at Creatio for the last 2 years. And as Josh said, I'm very excited to take you through the platform today in a few minutes.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Eero. And on the agenda today, we're going to start with why should knowledge workers create applications? What's driving this change in the industry? What exactly is a composable architecture? What does it really mean? What are no-code tools and how can you use them? And then we'll show you a live demonstration of exactly how you can use them. And you can see just for yourselves how quick and easy they really are to use. So which companies are using no-code tools? Well, here's just a selection of our customers. You'll see a mixture of large enterprise businesses, mid-size, and even smaller startups in here. The reality is that now any business can take advantage of no-code tools, and by integrating no-code systems with whatever you're doing, you're going to greatly increase your flexibility, greatly increase your time to market, and reduce your total spend on your software systems. So whatever the industry, whatever your size, there's definitely a space for a no-code system in your business. Now, driving this change, worldwide, there are only 25 million developers available. So this is just the total number of people with the software skills to build bespoke software to work on the systems that you need. However, at the same time, it is predicted that over the next few years, over 500 million new applications will be needed. So you can see there are not enough people around to build those applications. The solution being that there are 1.7 billion knowledge workers worldwide, people working in companies that know the processes they follow, that know the sort of data they need to be working with in reports they need. However, they don't have the software coding and development skills to put this into software. And this is really where no code comes in, and how no code is helping these knowledge workers create processes, create reports, dashboards, everything they need without needing to rely on specialist developers and coders to do things. Now, this transition has been coming for a while. Many of you will remember maybe 20 or 30 years ago, you would sit down with a big software house, you'd spend 6 to 12 months planning out exactly what you need. Then they'd go away and build it for another couple of years, and after a long time, you might get that system. This kind of transitioned into the SaaS model of software, where you get an off-the-shelf product that does maybe 70, 80% of what you want, but actually there's 20, 30% it doesn't, and you end up spending a lot of time, a lot of money, continually trying to change, adapt, customize that platform without ever really getting to the system that you need. And this has now transitioned into what we're calling the composable architecture era, the ability to create custom applications very quickly without any developer or coding skills required. And this is really making a huge change across the software industry. It's predicted by Gartner that in 2023, 60% of organizations will seek composability in new application investments. And we can speak to this ourselves. All businesses worldwide are eventually going to move to this way of doing things. It gives you a huge competitive advantage. And this second point here, that 80% of organizations who will have adopted this going forward, you can see that this is a huge amount of the overall market moving into this way. And is predicted that CIO or CIOs are predicting that the companies who have adopted the no-code way of doing things are going to be able to double their revenue growth rate. Why? Because they can reduce their costs, they can increase the amount of functionality they're able to create in a short time frame. So it's vitally important to businesses going forward that we keep this idea of no code and composable architecture in mind. Now, the real benefits of the composability here are that you can reuse these applications. You can reuse workflows, almost like Lego blocks is the analogy we often use. You can plug them in where needed, you can change them, you can edit them, and they're fully scalable to any size of business. And as and when you need to change, maybe you add a new product range, maybe you're entering a new market, or you have a merger with another business. And whatever's driving that change within your business, you can pivot change quickly and cost effectively when you need to. So the components that go into these low-code platforms, we start with the smallest aspect, which we call the components, the different data points you're going to use, which we can then create different blocks, areas in your screens that can then again be reused and put together. And we put these together to create applications. You combine enough applications, we get to a product. And then if you combine enough products, you get to your bundles and building out full-fledged complex applications. But within a no-code platform like Creatio, you have the tools to create, design, use, adapt all of these different parts of the software, reuse them, change them, all with drag and drop, all without needing developers or coders to come in and do any of this for you. Now, the goal of this is that you can take these different components and across your business, across the customer journey or the employee journey, all these different areas can be pieced together across sales, marketing, service, or beyond into HR, finance, and depending on your industry, lots of different things. So you have the core functionalities all tied together in this system. And then depending on your industry, you might have specialist tool sets built around. You know, if you are manufacturing, maybe it is logistics, delivery management, warehousing, production cycle management. If you're in banking and finance, maybe it's KYC, maybe it's AML. All these different processes that go into these different types of industries, where traditionally you would need to get a specialist off-the-shelf platform. As I talked about at the beginning, off-the-shelf platforms usually being very rigid, fixed, not quite doing all of what you want them to do. With a no-code composable architecture, you can actually build out these applications, you can build out these workflows as you need them to be very quickly and very cost effectively. So no matter what kind of industry you're coming from, you are covered. Now, what you're seeing here are some of those specific examples of the actual use cases where people are using platforms like Creatio. So contract management, invoice management, even complex things like CPQ, where you would definitely think you'll need a specialist platform to manage this. Customers are using Creatio to build their own systems to do this. And it's really a very, very different way of doing things. Now, the real benefits of this way, it's all about acceleration. It's all about moving your business faster, being more agile to react to the changes around you, having more autonomy within your business. And I'm going to talk about that in just a second, about what we mean by the autonomy and who can do what. And then really the alignment across your business. The idea being that all these applications are connected underneath. So if you have your marketing, sales, service, you have your HR applications, KYC applications, whatever it is you've got in your business, they're all built on that same system, the same database, the same data model, and connecting that data together then gives you the ability to actually use that data, use AI and machine learning models to do a lot of extra cool stuff, which we will maybe need to talk about in a separate webinar for sure. Now, the point of this webinar was, who can do this? How do you empower your knowledge workers to do this? Who has the ability to come in and actually use the system? Essentially, anyone who knows the processes within your business, usually we think of business analysts as being the right people to start with. They'll be able to use the no-code tools to design the pages, the dashboards, the workflows, and really manage your business. So if you have people using products like, think of kind of like Microsoft Visio or something like that, drawing out your processes, anyone who has that kind of knowledge and ability will get to grips with Creatio very, very quickly. And rather than just drawing the process on the page, they'll actually be able to connect all the dots within the system, create these automations, and drive everything forward. So anyone who has that basic knowledge of your processes, those knowledge workers I talked about at the beginning, they're the right people to be doing this. And then what we like to call them are the no-code creators. So a lot of our customers will use this phrase, and hopefully one day you will be a no-code creator too. Now, the platform Creatio, we are an off-the-shelf CRM platform, but we are at our heart a no-code application platform. What this means is we are a set of tools for creating any application, any workflow, any API integration. This slide does not want to stay on the screen, but you get the idea. We are a nice looking set of tools that allows you to create any workflow without needing developers. So what we are looking at here, how the Creatio platform works. So Creatio is built as a single platform across all the areas of the functionality. So underneath the core components of the CRM, the marketing, sales, and service, as well as all these no-code tools for UI design, workflow automation, and API integration, they're all built on the same database, the same data model. And by being connected underneath, it makes it incredibly quick and easy to utilize that data. You're not working with different integrations between all the different parts of the system. And when you make one customization using the no-code tools, it's instantly recognized across the entire platform. And that will greatly increase the speed at which you can change, and again, greatly reduce the overall cost of change. So taking a look at some of the core components of this, the no-code tools, they exist in what we call Creatio Studio. So Studio is the no-code tool set that exists within Creatio, and it's broken down into a few pieces. So you have the application hub. This is where you'll take that zoomed out view and see each of your applications as their own. You can go through here into the sales module, the service module, or the different applications you're creating, and then kind of zoom down in there to look at the different pages and processes within. We have our Nocode Designer, which is going to help you with sets of templates for how your pages are going to look, how those layouts are going to be. And again, it's all configurable, all reusable, and all can be changed to how you want your business and screens to run. And on the pages themselves, you're able to drag and drop. You'll see that little panel on the left, and this is what Eero is about to show you very soon, how you can pull in different elements into the screens. You have full control over the layout, where data is, and those data points that you want to be. So if ever you've had a platform that doesn't really match how you want to do things, maybe the data the system requires is different to the data you need, maybe the dashboards and reports you're getting out of your system aren't actually very helpful, or when you do want to get a report, it takes you a long time to pull out the data or create the different look of what you want. With the Creatio platform, you can just do all of this very quickly. Change the data points, change the reports, change the dashboards, all in a tiny fraction of the time. And then underneath all of this is the Creatio workflow automation engine. So pulling together all those different data points, all those different departments and teams using all the different bits of a system, whether it's marketing, sales, service, HR. You can automate processes between all the different stakeholders, all the different teams, all without needing to leave Creatio. And this is really, again, one of the really important parts of the no-code platform, being able to automate all these processes that you want to without needing developers to come in and do any of this. And going back to who can use this kind of tool, anyone with BA experience, anyone that knows your process, when they go through some basic training with our training teams. A few extra fun bits before I hand over to Eero. So this works on both desktop and mobile. Creatio also works offline if you have agents out in the field or people working while traveling on planes. They can log in and use Creatio offline and on mobile. And underpinning a lot of this system, a lot of the huge benefits customers are getting right now is through the AI and machine learning models that exist within Creatio. We have customers, integrating Creatio with ChatGPT to generate feedback for their customers' service requests. We have people using Creatio for lead scoring, predictive scoring, all these different elements. And I could go on for hours about the AI and ML in Creatio. But it's a big component of what we do. So if anyone has questions on this, please let us know. And then, of course, the governance aspect. Now, with the no-code platform and all the freedom it gives you, a lot of the questions we get are often around how do you manage this? How do you stop this crazy free-for-all of people just building their own applications, changing processes, changing data models? So within Creatio, we have our governance application, which helps you to govern how a system is run, who has access rights to which parts, how do you have those audit logs and change histories, so you can see who's done what and who actually has access to do what within the system. And of course, we would always help you understand the best way of doing things, and with our partners, how to implement a system using no-code methodologies as well. But the tool sets are there to support you. And then all of this working at an enterprise scale. So we work with Fortune 500 companies. We work with people with tens of thousands of users working together at the same time, hundreds of thousands of processes running every day. We love complexity. We love scale. So no matter what size your business is at, rest assured, Creatio will work for you. Okay, now on the screen here, if you have your phones ready, please do scan the QR code. A large part of working with a no-code system is actually changing how your business delivers software, how you manage and govern those applications and rights and your teams within your business. Creatio, we've written a playbook on exactly how to do that. If you scan this code here, you'll get the free PDF version, or you can go to Amazon and buy your nice shiny hardback. Or if you get in touch, drop me or Eero an email, and for sure, we'll make sure we send you a copy as well. But if you are interested, please do scan or please do get in touch. We're very happy to send these out. And as you can see, we have a nice audiobook version as well. Okay, and then to wrap things up, 3 things to remember about Creatio. We are one platform underneath all the functionality that we've just talked about. It's a single database with a single data model. We provide a high degree of freedom with the no-code and the composable architecture, and this idea of genuine care. So we work very closely with our customers to get the most out of the platform and to achieve your goals working with us closely. Okay, so if you take away anything from today, one platform, freedom, and genuine care. My slides do not like me today, but thank you very much. And Eero, over to you.
Thank you, Josh. So let me start sharing my screen to bring into life all the nice slides that you prepared for us today. So you see here the Creatio platform. I have logged in as a no-code creator, and I have access to the application. Now, you will see here on the left side that we can see an application that we created about for business development managers, for example. But the idea is that different teams from different departments can have access to Creatio and can use the information as a single source of truth. So this is in order to make communications with our colleagues much more easier and more streamlined. Now, this is the desktop view where you can see some of the analytics reporting that just talked about, because all the information that resides into Creatio can be used for this purpose to give insights to the users, they start the day, what's the most important metrics that I need to work with. Now, for this specific application, what I created as a no-code creator is an application with, first of all, a homepage, because I want to give to the business development managers like more extensive analytics of what's happening. And you will see, I will show you in a bit, that all this is completely customizable and you can decide what these reports can be about. And then, of course, it can be a matter of your database, your contacts, your accounts, campaigns that a business development manager would need to have access to, the leads that are generated, and in general, all the activities that he needs to track. Now, let's say that we want to see the view of an existing account, which we have, for example, this is obviously dummy data, alpha business. So as we go through, all the records and what we have here, this might seem similar to other platforms that you have seen, but on the other hand, not so much. And why is that? This is because with Creatio, you have the freedom to totally personalize your records. Also, the automations, obviously, that run in the background. So you provide your employees with records with the most agility, with a top-notch user interface that will bring value to their life. Meaning that, as I said before, they start their everyday job and they have the insights that will make them more productive, that will make them take decisions easier and faster. So, for example, here you can see that all our records can have an internal communication between the users, so they don't spend time sending emails, making phone calls. Everything is from Creatio, the communication. It can be a repository of files, even the platform based, as we said before, using AI, give insights, prompt users to make decisions, take next steps. So how did we create this business development manager application? How did we create these records with these workflows? So as Josh said previously, this is our application hub. This is the control panel that me as a no-coder have in order to create and manage my existing applications. So from here, I have the freedom and the full ownership to create and build customized applications. And the main thing is that I don't need technical skills. I won't write script. So if I want to create a new application, first of all, obviously, if I want, I can start from scratch, or I can install, if I want to add an extra functionality or a connection to a third-party system, ready-made connectors and add-ons that we have in our marketplace, ready-made dashboards and ready-made records of to start building and designing. So I will open the one that we just saw, and you will see that we follow these steps. So first, what I need to do is to create the pages, meaning the list pages and the form pages of my records. And here as well, we can also manage the home pages as we saw previously. So for this reason, imagine that this is like the back office. I can totally rearrange. I can change the order of my dashboards. I can add new ones. and I can just add the settings of my charts very easily, again, with no line of coding, just selecting the objects that we want to represent and any additional settings and parameters that we want to have. Sorry about that. So as I said, we just decide the object, the function, the type that we want to see it. And you see that I have a full preview of what am I designing right now. And for the record of an account, for example, but obviously this can be a request, any other type of records that we want totally built from scratch. Here, same thing, we have the backend. Same philosophy, I can drag and drop the tabs, everything that is inside. I can obviously create new objects, new fields that I would like to add to my grid. And I can also add charts, as we see here, for example, in the analytics section. I can even add new buttons in my page that will have different functionalities. For example, I want to export to Excel the list of this specific account, everything that I have stored there. And you see here a bunch of elements on the left side that I can just drag and drop into my record to add extra functionality and make it as personalized and as simple as I want. Like from very simple to very detailed, my goal is to make the end users be more agile and productive, as we said. So back to the application. We have started by building our records, how they will look like, what type of home pages we will have. Then we have our sections, like to which specific sections will this user have access to. And from here, we can obviously create new ones. This is the list of the data models that my application will use, and I can just add existing objects or create new ones. Now, in Creatio, we have, let's say, two approaches towards how we can offer companies with more agility and more the possibility to manage their automations. So the first one, we call it dynamic case management, is the way to create workflows. So imagine that we have a record of leads and we want to provide to the users guidelines to which stages go through, and in each stage, what tasks, what automations need to be done. So for example, here we'll have a lead. So we first need to go from a qualification stage, then offer a quote, proceed with the order, etc. Again, totally customizable. We can just change the order of those, also change the order of the elements that we have, be able to create new ones whenever the business process changes. We need to add an extra stage here to proceed with the lead. And in each stage, we have, again, a set of elements that we can add. This can be from simple tasks that we can assign to specific users or specific group of users. They can be approvals, obviously, if we want a manager, for example, to approve the order or the code, then it would need to go from here. Changing access rights, again, because again, in Creatio, one of the main things that we care about is GDPR compliance, being able to give the correct permissions to the correct users. And also we can automate emails that can be sent either internally to notify users about, for example, the approval that we talked about before, or externally to users to inform them about the stage of their process, of their request, of their quote, etc. And also what we can do is to add in these workflows business processes that will run while we go through this workflow and creating more automations. So these business processes will be added in for my application at this stage. So you can see here that we can see all the list of the applications. Obviously here we can search by name or by date, etc. And we can create new ones. And from the integrations section, we can add integrations with third-party systems. So this is an example of a business process. Same philosophy where everything is drag and drop. On the left side, I have my elements that I can just drag and drop and then connect them, either with conditional flows or with gateways, for example. And each element obviously has their specific settings in order to proceed with this flow. Again, I don't need to write the code. It's just a matter of adding the settings. And in the case that I have an integration with another platform and I need to call a web service at some point of my business process, then I just select which is this third-party application that I want to call and just request to add specific parameters into my business process and then continue. Also, when I add a new element, what we can do is that based on what Joe said about AI suggestions, at the start for the no-code creators to help them out, the platform can give suggestions on what would be a possible next element to add and continue with the flow. So this is just one simple example of the AI capabilities of our platform. So to sum up, the way to create custom applications with custom records, with custom analytics is done just with drag and drop, no line of coding, and any no-code creator with a few days of training will be able to create this type of applications, as we see here, with a very nice user interface and a lot of insights for the users. So let us know if you have any questions. Obviously, this was a very quick overview of the platform, but looking forward for a more deep dive session with you.
Wonderful, thank you, Eero. Great presentation and really great to see how those tools can be used. So I had a few questions come through. First question I've got here is how long does it take to learn to be a no-code developer? So with Creatio, our full training package comes to about 5 days. That covers the off-the-shelf functionality in the CRM. It covers how to use the no-code tools that Eero's just demonstrated, the UI designer, the workflow automation, these kind of things, as well as development in Creatio as well. So we are written using C# and Python, and you do also have access to that code in certain areas. So still being able to develop in the system is required sometimes. So we offer that training for 5 days, but it really doesn't take that long to learn how to use the system. Okay, other questions that we have had. Okay, how much quicker is a no-code deployment than a standard deployment using traditional ways? So it's a very, very good question. Now, on average, we say that a no-code developed platform is about 80% quicker than a traditionally developed system. Now, what we are seeing is deployments that might take 12 months for a traditional platform could take as little as 2 to 3 months using a system like Creatio. Now, the actual development part becomes much, much quicker because in Creatio, you're just configuring the flows, the UIs, the dashboards, all these things, but you do still need to go through that same scoping phase of gathering the requirements and what you actually want to do, and you still need to go through the same kind of testing and approval phases and things on the other side as well. So although the development and configuration is much, much quicker, you do still need to manage this like a full software project to make sure that you're getting what you want at the end. Okay.
But the idea also, Josh, is, after completing with the initial development of the project, is how fast and easy the users can make small changes, as we saw, like I want to add an extra field, I just want to add a new dashboard, I want to delete one. It's a matter of literally seconds.
Yep, absolutely. Good. And any more questions that we have? Again, here, who can be a no-code developer? So who can be a no-code developer? As I mentioned before, anyone who knows your processes within the business. You don't need to have previous IT skills. You don't need to be a developer. I myself am not a developer, a hero as well, no development background, but fully able to create applications, workflows, and different parts of a system using the no-code tools. Most businesses, you will still need access to developers and development teams. You'll still need to have integrations with other systems, and you'll need that support sometimes. So it's not about completely replacing your development teams, but even your current development teams will just be able to do much, much more using these tool sets. So it's about enabling your development teams and your other knowledge workers to work together to achieve much, much more.